Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Festival and Community Events Commission. We would like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We're going to call the meeting to order at 7:06. And I would need a motion to approve the agenda as submitted. Kathy, approve. Second? Second. Scott? All in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Kevin.
Oh, Kevin. Everybody get a chance to read the minutes that Madam Secretary supplied to us a few weeks back? Any questions about the minutes? I need a motion to accept the minutes as submitted from the January 16th meeting. George motion, second.
I'll second.
Bridget, all in favor? Aye. All righty. We want to welcome our police and fire, our safety team. Duncan, Chief Murdoch, if you come up here for a second. And Chief Warnick, you want to come up too, and then we'll get you both out of here at the same time. If you don't know, Duncan is the fire chief for Groseal, and Chief Warnick is the new police chief. Any questions for these guys pertaining to safety during festival, before and after? Floor is yours. Don't clam up on me, group. Kim.
But here she goes.
We invited you here tonight just to, recap any, thing that happened last Island Fest that, you guys need to bring to the commission and the chair so we can help improve the event. It's just more of an open communication from safety forces to our commission if there was something you saw that you felt that we needed to improve on. So that's why we invited you here. As far as like the parking, I feel went pretty well. We had a few runs, which is going to happen during an event, but anything that you guys would like to address the commission that we can improve on or make any changes to?
From the fire department standpoint, I thought the festival went well last year based on previous festivals. I thought crowd control was definite huge improvement. The helicopter situation was definitely another huge improvement. Of course, like any event where you have this number of people, rescues are going to be a must. The only things I'll stress this year again is communications amongst this group and your staff that are out in the field. And what I mean by communications, radio communications. Word yelling at people doesn't get it, so the more radios they have, the better off you are. And that information is easily relayed to Mark and I and our teams. The helicopter again. Parking was a little bit of an issue. I had a few fights with people last year, vendors. Parking on the east side of Hangar 1 is an absolute no-no. I mean, we're pretty much tying up three sides of this building. I got to have access to one somehow if I have a fire in this complex. So, but we had some problems last year with that, and I draw a very strict line when it comes to fire safety in this facility and the amount of people that are walking in and out and going through it. So if it sounds like I'm being a little tough, I am. So, but again, the big one is I don't know how many radios you guys have, but communications is huge. So, and I know Mark he'll say the same thing.
So I think
maybe
what I'm going to recommend to the commission, I'm here most of the time. Further down the agenda, we're going to have specific times that everybody's going to be here. And I think that there's got to be radio on one of us that are on duty for those few hours, one at the info booth, contact with the carnival, and what am I missing? Oh, back at the bar area.
Oh, booth.
So that would be 4 radios. I know he wants more. We should be on one channel, and then if we need these guys, then we switch to another channel. We have the little earpieces. I found out they work great. Some people didn't. The question for Duncan, I just asked him a minute ago, if a storm brews up. Township Hall is a fallout shelter. But, we all, before festival, like sometime in April, we all need to be on the same page. If some kind of disaster, natural disaster, or anything like that, we got to have a backup plan. And as far as the parking goes, I know that there's always some issues coming in there. We do like to let the bands in to unload, but there should be no cars up on here.
As long as they move their cars after they're done unloading, excuse me.
Yeah, last year, were vendors and people were pulling in the gates and then just parking haphazardly, and
Well,
we
they're
couldn't get them back out. But I thought we were going to close the gates off.
That was a problem last year. It was
Right.
a little bit of a problem, but there's vendors are supposed to come in, drop off, and then move their vehicles out. They're supposed to be out on the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
Is where they're supposed to be. And a lot of them will give you a hard time with that because a lot of them work out of their trucks. That we
They
can
all
make
their
accommodations
product is in their
for.
back of their
but
van or whatever.
Just to park them for the sake of parking them because they want them close, absolutely not.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
where
the drop
hydrants
off.
are right there.
If there's anything they
Right.
need to pick up after or during while the festival's going on, they drop off in this row that comes up to Township Hall here, and there's an entrance through the fence, and they can get that. That being said, I know we have the DIA coming in on Saturday morning, like at 10 a.m. They're going to want to pull in and set up. That's something the commission will figure out, and we got a presentation with that.
Well, just to give you a heads up, Groesville Fire Department this past year put a new vehicle in service. Actually, it's a trailer, but we put an ER1 in service, and it carries all our mass casualty on board, and it's got everything you can think of when it comes to medical treatment in a trailer, ready to roll at that moment's notice with 2 ambulances. So we've actually improved our ability or our capabilities to respond to more people that could potentially be hurt, from whatever the reason might be. So
And something I like to point out is when the township board is sitting up here and they ask you guys, oh, how many runs did you during festival weekend? And a number goes off. Everybody thinks, oh, they made all those runs to Island Fest. It isn't. It was that you were doing runs at other places on Groseal.
we got to remember, we already
do.
do 2 or 3, 4 runs a day as it is, and then on weekends it bumps up to 10, 12, 15 calls during the course of a weekend. So they're not all related here, but usually we have 2, 3, 4 here during the course of the festival.
Thank goodness we had no deaths. I don't think we had any arrests for overnight jails last year. Okay, just saying, because the things gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and we should be proud that that's our track record.
Police
that we want.
presence is excellent here. It's definitely
I
excellent.
think last year was one of the best ones. I've been here almost 30 years, and I think it was one of the best ones we had. Our biggest night is the fireworks night for the parking.
Well, we do pay those people to come and help direct traffic now too. We have the kids that work for rec.
Well, I know
during
my
the summer.
son, he helped last,
Right.
he worked for the rec department. I was out there with
Back
Chief.
this year?
More like that.
Well, what it
Hopefully,
does, you have to understand something about the fireworks, and I'm a big fan of the fireworks. I think it brings a lot of great people out to see what's going on in Groseal, but it does create a logistical nightmare at the time of its conclusion. And the cussing and the swearing and the disrespect to the police and fire out on the roads was horrendous. And here's the other problem. We also had a run or two during that removal of thousands of cars. It really created a major nightmare for us to get off the island. So, but that's our problem.
Okay.
But you should know that situation does create another situation.
Because we've talked, in the past, we've talked about doing something at Four Corners, but I mean, between 10:30 and 11:15, it's going to be bottlenecked. We got
Absolutely.
thousands and thousands of people here.
We have Trent help
So-
us. They help on the other side of the bridge, which helps that light across
Thanks,
Jefferson.
Trenton.
And we'll take care of that. And I think last year was, it's crazy, but it ran pretty smooth last year. We did some new things, and we got
A lot of dirty language.
Well, I got almost a few times, yeah.
Probably haven't heard most of those, have you?
Huh?
You haven't heard any of those.
Not from
Dirty words.
public safety. We were professional at every moment.
So you guys got that about the radios, the earpieces? We'll look into something.
Rec has about 8 to 10 radios, so we're good.
How
I
many
can get
do
almost to
you
my
have now?
house. I can get almost to my house and still have that headpiece working.
How many radios do you have in service during the event?
We had them all working
We had 'em
last
all
year.
on.
How many is all?
10.
7, 8,
10?
10.
Oh, that's a lot of radios.
And then the boys have them across the street when they're helping with the cars and
Yep.
all that. So
But Chad, to clarify, you referenced that we'd be on one channel, and then if we had a problem, switch on to another channel.
yes.
Our radios are capable of interfacing with their radios. We'd have to give them one of our small preps, which you can purchase anywhere.
Yeah, you wouldn't be on our
Yeah,
frequencies.
we wouldn't be able to go direct.
Yeah, we should
I
do
have one.
that.
I think I still have one.
Yeah.
At the station.
Will the bullhorn work? I'm just
We have one of those, too.
Most
So what do we do then? Do we?
Well, the first thing we do is we all have cell phones, 911, and then get on the radio. Communicate to first responders then communicate internally what's going on. So
Well,
we
when
can-
you call police dispatch, fire police dispatch, if you can give them all the information, all the intel you can on where it's at, where the problem's at, what gate to come in, all that kind of stuff, that really eliminates a lot of headache.
Yeah, I had to make
So,
2 calls.
Like a
last
rescue call, like by the Ferris wheel or by the something, so we can go right through it.
A landmark of some sort.
And you're gonna have golf carts again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like last year.
What?
Golf carts again. That's the best thing, in case we have to bring a fireman or something in a golf cart, we can bring
I
them.
always myself, I would like them to be picked up behind the pilot house where that little gate
Right.
entrance is. I don't want to be lugging people to the info booth on a stretcher,
Mm-hmm.
so, just for, excuse me, visuals, he drank too many Red Bulls.
But whatever you guys need from us, you just got to ask.
Thank you.
So, accept.
This is festival related, Kim.
Then, no checkbook.
We'll be fine, whatever you need, just let us know and we'll.
Yeah, we're more than willing to help. We want it to be successful for you guys too. So,
If you had a choice, would fireworks be Friday or Saturday night?
you have to, I have to apologize. My hearing aids are in the shop, so I'm having difficulty hearing.
If you had a choice for fireworks, would it be Friday night or Saturday night?
I really don't have a preference. I mean, either way, people are going to show.
Only thing about Friday is in case it rains Friday, you can have them Saturday. If it rains Saturday.
You can
It
always
doesn't matter.
move
It's up to you
forward.
guys.
Can't come back.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But Friday,
That's
we
a
have
good
kids
point.
still in school. We
Sure.
got parents.
It doesn't
rushing
matter,
home
whatever
from
you
work,
guys want.
So
I
that's
don't-
why we did move it to Saturday.
Yeah, it doesn't
because
matter to me. It worked out good last year.
Friday does make sense. And then if it does rain, at least you got a rain date. So,
But that's up to you. It doesn't matter.
Or we could do them on Sunday.
and
It rains on Saturday. Wah, wah.
but we'll have a crew down here for the fireworks. So, who's doing them this year?
Ace Pyro.
Oh, Doc Morris again.
Well, technically, Drew Espinito owns the company. Doc just likes to pack the cannons, and he's a great fundraiser guy.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's his company, and we'll have the VIP section out there, and we're bringing the foam party back, and 2 nights in a row.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh.
Any more questions for them? Thank you for everything you guys do.
No sweat.
Tell your guys and girls we really appreciate it.
Be here.
Whatever you need from us, just let us know.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, we have Sandy Bondar with the Grozeal Alliance for the Arts. She's going to do a presentation. Sandy, we know you're from the island, but
Yes.
give everybody a shout out where you live.
20594 Canal Drive. I'm with Grozeal Alliance of the Arts, and we've been a customer, I guess, of you guys for many, many, many years. And we were thinking, there just isn't traffic coming into the hangar. We have a booth, and we're sitting there a lot, and we're watching a lot of the vendors sitting around, and we were trying to brainstorm, how do we get more people inside? I mean, yeah, you got the foam party, but people seem to hang out in the parking lot, and then they go over to the rides, they aren't coming in. So we talked to the DIA, and they do what is called a drop-in workshop. And we tried to get it together for last year, but they have a whole trailer. And we found out this trailer exceeded the weight limits of the bridge, so we couldn't get them on the island, so we had to stop that. They now have a smaller version, and if that's why we were asking for tables, because if they could set up tables by our Grozeal Alliance of the Arts booth, they would come in and work with kids or adults and do art. So they would want to come in and set up Saturday morning. They have 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., or I'm sorry, set up at 11 a.m., and actually, I can ask them to come closer to 10. That's not a problem. And we'll be there to help them. They're going to bring all the supplies, all of everything they need, and it's free. So any of the kids that come, they can come and make. Does this work? Maybe not.
Kim, you know how to switch that? Yeah, we'll get it up there for you. Or Mike?
This is a bad photo, but what they're going to make this year is puppets. And it'll take each child or person
Wait 1 second.
15 minutes
There you go.
to an hour, depending on. It's like a shadow.
Where's the shadow?
But it's called. This is Great Lakes Wildlife Puppets. So the kids will be making puppets, or adults, and it's free for anyone. This program from the DIA is provided by the DIA, but also provided by the Tri-County Millage, supports these type programs. They go to different festivals as well, not just ours. They can have all, they are bringing 168 supplies, so we can tolerate 168 kids for one day. We're thinking 12 noon to 6 p.m., so it's a full day thing. They would need, I'm assuming, about 6 tables, 36 chairs. We could set up the tables in our area before the festival begins. We have tablecloths and keep them protected. People, one year we had tables over there, and I noticed a lot of people would go out and they'd buy food at the vendors and whatnot. They would come in and sit in our area. We usually display art and stuff. They want to be out of the wind, out of the sun, away from the noise, or they just want a quieter place to eat. So the tables would be used outside of this too, so it would have another use. What they will do, the DIA that is, they will post Island Fest and advertise it on their website as well, so that will help other people off the island know about this event that's going to occur. Having this event will increase flow into the hangar by people bringing family and people in, which hopefully will help other vendors as well by bringing in people. It's free. Did I mention it's free? No one pays. And we can make up signs to direct people to come this way.
What are those in the picture? You said those are puppets?
They are puppets.
They look like they're sitting on.
Are they finger puppets or like a whole hand puppet?
Can I just pass this around? My printer just didn't.
How physically large are these things?
They're all different sizes. They have some that are smaller and some that are bigger.
So that's like free exposure on the DIA's website too, or their
Yes.
festival page. That's pretty cool. Can you click that back to the?
We'll get you those tables and chairs.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm in favor of the event, so in recreation, we do have spare tables and chairs that we'd be willing to get up to the hangar for this program, so I'm in favor.
And we will be putting tablecloths on them and stuff, and we usually try to make our area, you've seen it before,
Yep,
very
very nice.
festive. And we also will be having our coffee booth, our frozen coffee as well, so.
Kathy, you got questions? No? You sure? All right. It's all good.
I never saw any of those in person, so I can't tell you that they're this big,
Well,
but I'm sure it won't disappoint.
oh, I'm sure it won't. It looks like in the drawing they're on strings, so are they this type of, like a marionette type of?
They
looks
could
like
be,
it's on
because it
a-
looks like it.
It looks like it's more on a
And they
metal
might,
stand of some sort.
yeah.
I think what, and it's not a concern because we'll make it happen, and I thank you for all the work that you and the Art Alliance did with this, but it's getting them in. I mean, most of us will be down at the parade at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning, but we need to get them in here. You said 180 some supplies.
Well, but look at the size of these. You know,
Right.
180 supplies could be a little box.
Yeah, yeah.
So as long as we have some manpower down here to have them pull up in the township hall parking lot here and unload that stuff and go
And
past
I
the
have my
info
pull
booth.
cart, so we can just
All right.
load it up and pull them away.
And as long as nobody
Yeah.
thinks we're
That's
breaking
before
down
the big
Saturday
influx
night.
of people come through.
Yeah, I don't want people thinking, oh, we're starting up at 6 o'clock on Saturday night. So
Happen.
they can make it happen. We're,
Well,
they're
I'm just saying, on our part, we'll make sure those tables and chairs are here for the group.
Well, it'd be nice to use something, multi-use of that space Friday night. I think we could create something that it's, we were setting up and it's already there, and then we
But
just
usually
transition
we
on.
are set up like Friday night, and we always have like an art show and things like that. So it's not like it's just going to be an empty spot with blank tables there.
Oh, Sandy knows our vision. That was one of her first things. It's not going to be a blank area there.
No,
We'll make it look pretty.
we will fill it.
Any more questions for the Art Alliance or Sandy? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you.
Maybe see if the DIA will send us some kind of literature or if they have some kind of banner or posters that we can get put up. If they get us one poster, I can get copies. Or maybe they'll have a big or a big DIA logo. I mean, isn't it the blue circle with like the column on it and stuff like that? See if you can get something hooked up from that. Could you get that website put back up there, please? Because I'm going to run through that. Any public comment? Don't everybody run up here. All right. My report. Chairperson's report. All right, so we're at number 7. What? She's a sassy one tonight, isn't she, Miss Kearney?
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, it's Bridget?
Bridget.
Oh, sorry. Okay, Bridget.
You're right, it was her.
Sorry, Wendy.
I know.
Do we have to approve this or not?
Well, we kind of just did, didn't we, or no? I don't think we need to
Anyone
vote on
opposed to
it.
having the Art Alliance? I don't think it's a voting thing. Is anyone opposed?
No.
All right.
You're in.
Expect a puppet show though too.
Told us that we have to reply to him by April 1st, so I'll email him tomorrow and say, good to go.
Yay.
And the puppeteers.
Do they bring the people, do they bring the people that are going to help
Yes.
put everything together? So there's volunteers and all that? Well, I know you will. You're there all the time. You and your kid. For my report, I am really happy to announce that we have already received our liquor license for the 3-day event. It came last week. It was the quickest turnaround I've ever had, and I filed for many of those throughout the years. Sent the paperwork 1 week, and not even 8 days later, we had the license. Wow. How'd you get those?
Did you send them to
Oh, I did send them to you. Okay. The real ones have laminated on them. So, yeah, we're good to go with the Buddha Bar. The foam party update, I know you had put 35, but I think it was quoted at 37.50.
It was my typo.
They're going to do Friday and Saturday both for the foam party. They're going to have a liner, so Kim's not out there with a weed blower and Barry's out there doing all that stuff. So we're kind of excited about that because I know Trish, don't a lot of them go Friday night. Who goes to Cedar Point?
Band.
Or band goes to, yeah. So the ones that aren't here Friday, they'll get to come Saturday. The company, same company as last year, Jay Sanborn, they said that a lot of kids that are here Friday and their friends aren't, they'll tell their friends, oh, it was really cool. You guys got to go check this out. So we're skipping the neon paint and going with foam 2 nights in a row.
Plus the little kids can come Friday.
Plus the little ones can come Friday. I want to show you guys something. If you in the control room would please put this website up here so I can show the folks at home too. Trish down there at the very end, she went on to the volunteer site and updated everything. The home page, see up here where it's green it says home. Each page has a volunteer. You're going to click on that. Bottom left-hand corner, click on the volunteer. It's going to take you to everything that starts on, hello, high-speed internet, Township Hall. Oh, is it? Oh. So I believe it. Does it start on Wednesday, Trish, or Thursday?
It's Wednesday up.
All right, so Wednesday, May 29th. If you just scroll down this, it has the day, the time, and the tasks that we need. So you just go on that when you would click volunteers with assistance. It tells you if it's a high, if it's heavy work or if it's light work, so on and so on. Keep going down. We need people to help with exhibitor check-in. And then you get to the ID, wristbands, et cetera, et cetera. 2 things that aren't on the site. If you want to be a food vendor, you have to call the recreation department. We do not put that on because it's a small group. Also, the bartenders are hand-picked, so they're not going to be on there. But all the other volunteer spots, please go to GrosealIslandFest.com, click on the volunteer page, and we'll be good to go. Also, check it out because it has all the schedule. The bands are all listed. The prices for the carnival, dates, times. All right, so that's it for the website. I guess the next thing could really go under discussion items because it's something that I want to run by the Festival Commission for a Halloween event. A hoedown at the farm. And summer band schedule, I will do that under discussion. That is that for my presentation. Any questions about the website, the phone party, or the liquor license? All right, Mr. Nelson, Township Liaisons report.
Yeah, do you still want a band for Sunday?
No, we're good.
Thank you.
That it?
That's it. I'm easy.
We don't have any action items, Wendy? Discussion items, parking. When the two chiefs were here just a minute ago, we discussed the parking. I think that we have to have more parking signs, you know, to get people to and from. Do we want to do the township thing as VIP and handicap again this year? It seemed last year that worked out pretty good. The year before, not so much. So that's a yes for the VIP and handicap for Township Hall only.
Is parking on the website? I didn't check for volunteers.
It is.
It is? Okay.
Yes. And they do have to be how old? Yeah.
Preferably 18, but 16 and 17. Because Chief trains all the parking attendants. We have a meeting before the event starts. He talks to them. We put the vests on them, and he tells them where to go. So that's how we did that.
Attendance, parking signs. All right, so I guess the other thing would be, and this kind of leads into the next, where am I at? Oh, discussion. All right, so next to the parking, I'm going to put the petting zoo. They came in with the price where they might come in free, but up to a $500 charge.
Isn't that a different one though? That's a
Yeah.
different one. It's a different
It's
one.
Binerdy Farms from Monroe or
Is
whatever.
that the same one?
Binerdy, yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's the one that sent Trish the thing when you sent it to us.
Yeah, the one we were talking about.
I would rather pay the $500 and let the kids come in and pet everything for free than have them trying to hit up, $5-10 here. They do sell those little cones that, there's like corn in them or something. You feed the gorillas. Good job. So, I don't know, the possums or whatever they bring. They have a pretty good array of stuff. They have skunks. I will have Wendy send it out to everybody what they supply. They do bring in, I think it's a 20 by 30 tent or 20 by 40 tent. So they need a pretty big area.
And they have pony rides.
The pony rides, they did charge extra for that. But like I said, I'd rather pay the fee up front.
Yeah,
But pony rides can get a little demanding if you got kids lined up for that. So maybe let them charge a couple bucks for that input. Anybody?
I think if the pony rides were free, then there'd be a line a mile long. So if you're
Right.
trying to-
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so they can charge for the pony rides. And do you think $500 is a decent price to pay for that?
Yeah.
And they're here all day.
Where do we put them?
Yeah, well, that was my next question, because we talked about this last month. Where are we going to put them?
How big a spot is it?
That's just the tent. They have a whole sprawl
thing.
thing where they have like reptiles, and then they do have foxes and skunks. They have goats, and I think they bring a cow. And they clean up after too.
I was going to ask you who does that.
Yep, they said they will clean up.
They'll clean up too, huh?
And we don't, we don't want them too close to the rides because I don't want them to get spooked with the kids screaming.
Yeah.
Or the helicopters at the other side, man, this is a hard one. So I guess why I put it with the parking was, where we put the colored flags that run over there? There's a hill there. I wonder if they could all fit in there.
Across the street?
On this side of Grow, in front of the fence that blocks in the north parking lot over here.
That's what I was thinking about.
The other side of the fence. This side is a really tiny field, and we're going to have the phone party in there. So,
That's too close to the road, probably.
it's true, you're going to have little kids running everywhere. Input. We did have them back by the VIP area, but obviously we're using that on Saturday.
Well, what time would they be here? Just Saturday or
Yeah,
Saturday?
they'd be here
Sunday?
just Saturday.
And they'd pull out. What time would they leave?
What were the hours? Like 10
I'm
to
looking at the
6?
email.
They'd be out before the VIP party gets going.
Well, how about this? I'll contact him, ask him to do a site visit,
Yeah.
walk the grounds with him, and then at the March meeting, I'll have an answer for everybody.
Perfect.
How's that sound?
Yep. Yeah, you really can't put them like where everybody hangs out watching fireworks, so there'd be, you know, yeah, they're not going to do a really fantastic job cleaning up, I wouldn't
Right.
imagine. So that wouldn't be really
Yeah,
smart, right?
because we did have Farmer John back there a couple of years ago, and that's when it rained, and he had a little tin, and little goats are all under the tin. It was kind of sad, but
And they do need a water hookup as well.
right, yeah, they need
So-
water hookup. They don't need power for anything, but they do need a water.
Yeah, I'm reading the
hookup.
email. So I'll have a site visit before the next meeting, and I'll report back to the commission with the location and all the details.
Put them in one of NASO's soccer fields over there. Just kidding.
Bring goats, they could pick the grass.
That's what they.
This so we could use them for the
Fertilizer.
VIP to cut the grass.
I mean, it would be nice down here, but then you got those. What do we have? The bouncy houses over here, and it's so close to the rides.
Yeah, it is.
All right, Kim will come back in March with that. All right, what's the next? Tasks and time for each commissioner. Well, I know John does the bands. He's pretty much set with that. I know Kevin and Kathy talked about the bar. We have bartenders, some lined up from 4 to 8. Mike will come back again, and I'm sure he'll help with Karen. We just need to find some more bartenders that are 18 and up. This is a high energy job. It's not standing around and doing nothing. You got to be on point for this job. Any input about the bar this year?
I'll have a couple volunteers.
Right?
I will too. You ever think about making it like smaller increments of time?
More volunteers.
Right. Well, I know it's just some people don't want to be there like the whole time.
Well,
It seems like, it just,
the 4 people that
Feel
did
like-
signed up for a 4-hour shift, and the bar's going to be 3 times as big as it was last year.
oh my goodness. No, I wasn't. I
mean,
missed.
I want to have it half as long as this thing here.
Right. Well, that makes sense, actually. But
And it did work out really good with the wristbands. We are not going to be doing drink tickets. Everything will be on a cash basis. That way there's no confusion with anybody else, Everything's cash. So,
That's exactly what we did last year, and that worked out really well. Cash.
well, you did that at the Halloween, right? Or no?
Oh, Halloween, we did the ticket
Tickets,
thing,
all
and that
right.
was a nightmare. If we do cash, because people come up, they have cash. People buy tickets. If it's a 4-ticket drink and they have 3, then they stand there and look at you this way. It's pretty easy. How much? $3, $5, whatever.
And we'll do $5 everything across the board? All right.
Because they're pretty good pours.
Everything's $5 across the board. I don't need backup. I was just looking at
Oh,
you.
okay. I'm emailing the.
So just keep in mind that we need bartenders.
The biggest night for bartenders is going to be like the Saturday. It didn't seem like anybody wanted to be there when the fireworks hit.
no.
Well, that's where I think you and Bridget, you guys gonna have to maintain that place. I mean, you can step out for 20 minutes.
That's fine. I'm fine with it.
Put the cash into your bosom, and off you go.
I haven't seen the fireworks since I've
I
been
know,
on the
girl.
commission.
We'll get you out there. We'll get you out there. All righty. Setup starts. So I guess what I'm asking for, Scott, what do you think you'd be good at focusing on over the weekend?
Totally free, whatever you need.
But there's got to be a specific thing because each one of you should be there. No, we got George for the parade.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Stepping on my parade.
Yeah, he was very adamant about that the last meeting. So I really want to have this all nailed down in March, where everybody's going to be and what time they get. I mean, some of us need to go home and change and shower and et cetera. So each one of us has to be guaranteed to be here for, I'd say a minimum of 4 hours for your shift. And then I know we're here a lot more than that because we're all doing our thing. So, all right. Setup time. Starting Tuesday night, May 28th. Well, I'm going to say 3 in the afternoon because I know a lot of you work and stuff. But I'd like to get the blowers and the power washer. I know there was complaints about the cleanliness of that. It is an airplane hangar. We do our best to try to keep it tidy. If somebody's got a problem with the dirtiness, maybe bring an old piece of rug to throw on your floor or something. I mean, they go and they set up at Flat Rock Speedway. They're in a dust bowl. You ever been to the place out on Middle Belt Road?
Yeah.
It's freaking a mess out there.
But I think last year we didn't power wash. So
No.
people noticed the difference.
We did power wash where the bar and all that
Right,
stuff was. I'm
right.
positive the guys were in there. Yeah.
Somebody told me last year we didn't.
What we didn't do last year is we didn't bring that truck in with the whisk things, because after we cleaned it, blew it all out, power washed it, they came in with those things and they turned around. It was a big mud. And I remember back in the day, they didn't do anything. They never even blew that thing out. You know, they brought in that dirty truck and ran it through there and called it a day. And then you get the people that all of a sudden, I'm not going to name names, start driving their vehicles in there. And you know how I'm like, no, what are you doing coming in here with your truck, your pickup truck, John Kime? You know, you just.
You need
so,
John, though. Come on.
Yeah, it's all good.
Guy from Florida a half hour ago, just out salting the sidewalk.
Oh. So, okay, so Tuesday, May 28th, starting at 3 in the afternoon. I know, Bridget, you're really big with that. We're going to grab a couple of the guys from the Rec Commission.
Do we need one? Do we need a power washer?
I would say, yeah. I mean, especially if it's a nice day, you know. The one thing is we can open, I'd rather have everything blown out this way on the north side, but don't forget we're going to have the foam party going up out there. And then Wednesday, all the tables and chairs and tents get delivered. Wendy, I'm pretty sure we got the Builders Club coming that day. They get out of school at 3, right?
2:24.
I talked with Trish a week or two ago, and we had like set up at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. We don't need that. You know, if people can just show up at noon.
They can't get there, yeah.
They
So
can
I
get
would
there
say
like 3 or something.
3, yeah.
All right. So that would be all day Wednesday, and then that's when you mark out the spots in that. Thursday, 8 a.m. starts check-in. I talked to Gail today. She's one of the early girls that comes in. We do need help at the check-in, so. And that's from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. Thursday night. Friday, final setup, and the event starts at 4. Nobody can come in after 2 o'clock or 2:30 to bring anything into this hangar on Thursday. I'm sorry, on Friday.
On Friday.
I don't care what group or company they are. You know, like Duncan said, they get in here, they pull up out there. And we do have an attendant at that gate. We can't lock it because of the fire trucks if they do need to get in. But maybe Dale Ream will get out there and do his duty sitting at that gate. He has in the past.
Put a barricade across it and just move it when people need to come and go.
Right. And I know Duncan said that the band should come and unload and then leave, but the sound guys need to leave their trucks back there.
You know, if they're way over there,
Yeah,
then
I
that's
think
fine. But
I
it
don't
was
think-
that whole east end where those fire hydrants are,
Right.
where they were blocking it, and that was very
The
clear.
first
They
thing we
needed
need
that
to
wide
do on
open.
Thursday is to tape that off. Just
Tape it off.
Yeah, right away.
Good point.
Just get it out before anyone has a tendency to park on it.
Yep.
Anybody tape off the north or the east side of the hangar where the grass is? Anybody remember when that used to be nothing but a big parking lot during this festival?
Yeah, it used to be.
I was just like, have at it.
Was that the northeast, you said? Northeast
Just
corner?
the east side, yeah.
We're going to eliminate parking on the north side as well, though, right?
Yes. I had a couple of people say, oh, yeah, we took some really good pictures of the foam party, but every time we turned around, one of those tacky yellow township trucks was in the photo. So if you see anything like that, because the boys were coming in and leaving those trucks parked right there, thinking they could break the rules. All right. So are we good with spending the $500 on the petting zoo, as long as we can find someplace with it?
Yes.
Do we need to vote on that, or?
I make a motion that we spend $500 on the petting zoo.
John made the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor of 500 on the petting zoo?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so moved. Cool. I think you each got to see this red picture here. Everybody
Jacket
good with
picture?
that? You can personally text me your size. And they do come in men's and women's. The festival logo will be over the left pocket. Your name will be on the right side. That little black pocket's a tech pocket for your cell phones and stuff, and then it will have commissioner on the right sleeve. That good?
They run true to size.
I'm going to say they're going to run a little tight because they're like a fleece thing. I don't know. And I know it sounded hot, but like what Bridget has on, that blue jacket, that's what we got. Was that last year?
Year before, wasn't it? Was it last year?
Last year.
It was last year for those, yeah. We try to get those, but they don't have them in red. And Kevin had mentioned red. I love red. And they'll be fine for in the evening. That's comfortable, right?
Oh, I love it.
And these are even less costly than those blue ones are. So if everybody in the next week could message me your size and the correct spelling of your first name. Okay, that was it with that. One other thing, we might have Wendy cannot make the meeting next March 20th. And I've spoke to Kathy before. She's good with taking minutes. Can you type them up too? I suppose. Oh, there you go.
She'll have to find time at work.
Will be absent.
And I know Kim's got something to do then. Are we good to keep it at that time on March 20th?
Sure.
And Kathy, you're good with the minutes?
Yes, I will take care of the minutes.
All right. She's on camera saying that, so. You want to back up?
No, I said I like having a backup.
Oh, yeah. Any more discussion about the setup times and what we need to do starting? I mean, I know Monday is Memorial Day, but then Tuesday we got to get in here and start cleaning. Boom, 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 boom. I know this is the Festival and Events Commission, and I know we're supposed to be discussing Island Fest. It's come, Kim and I discussed this, and I'd like to run this by you guys. October 19th is the second Saturday before Halloween. Doing a hoedown at the farms at a 21 and over event. It's just like we did for the Haunted Hangar, but we're going to do a hoedown. When people come in, they park on that field inside the gates, and we can have a hayride that will bring them up to the arena. We're going to talk with the guys at the farms. Sandy, I know you have horses. What would it be to put those horses outside for a few hours at night? They can't. Are there, those stables inside the arena? Do those stables in the arena itself, do those house horses all night? And put them on the other side? What? Oh, you can't hear her? Can you come up here for a second? Sandy was a tenant for many years at the farms here, and
because it's his place. But you can't just throw a lot of those horses out. They're show animals. They have special shoes and stuff. I'm sure he could make something work for that arena, but you can't just empty out that whole barn. And
well, I guess my question is, so there's the red barn across the parking lot that houses horses.
Yes,
The stables that are inside the arena, do those have horses in them all night too?
sometimes, and sometimes they don't. He sets them up because those are his school horses. So he can move things around and stuff. That's not an issue. But you can't just empty that whole barn out. All the stalls that are going down in there.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
So what we're doing, we're just trying to create, an event for the fall, because we always said we're going to try to keep something moving and grooving. Chad and I talked about the hangar. We know it was very successful, but we're in a position right now. We like to use the farm property and showcase that. That's kind of our motive behind it. We have all that land out there. We're going to be doing some renovations to the fence and kind of showcase recreation property as well. So we just wanted to throw it out to the commission, get your thoughts on it, change it up a little bit this year, kind of kick it
We have a
around.
publication coming out. It would be nice if we had to save the date for the October event coming out in the spring-summer Profile magazine.
My recommendation is to talk to him
Right.
Yeah,
because it is his
absolutely.
business.
Right,
He is leasing
absolutely.
that property. And
But we're
I
just
can't
starting the
answer for him.
brainstorming process right now, so we just thought we'd bring it up tonight and see what everybody thought.
So would there be music and everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that spook the horses?
probably.
Well, what do they do when they're doing those contests and those people are talking so loud on the microphones and everybody's applauding and all that in the arena for the horse?
They just step higher,
I know that goes.
ride them through.
A little different.
Yeah, all right, we'll figure it out. I just want to put it out there. We need to do something on 10/19/19 if we want to do a fundraiser in the fall. Hoedown, big bonfire out there, music. And I don't think it's going to be like the techno thumping rap stuff like we did at this one. It's going to be more of the swing your girl round and round, don't see dough and throw her down. Oh, yeah. All right.
He tells us all to behave, and look what happens.
All righty. So I think that is it. Questions, commissioners? Trish?
I think you need a detailed schedule for when the commissioners are going to be there. There were times John and I were, because I know you need to take a break, but we were I felt like I couldn't leave, so I'd be there 10, 12 hours. Just because I think a commissioner needs to be there at all times in case a vendor or someone has an issue or a medical emergency or something. Am I wrong, John? I mean, wasn't
No, that's what 10B is on here.
Right, I know, but you
Yeah.
kind of talked about setup more and
Oh.
vendor and the volunteer sheet. I think we really need people to sign up and say, I'm going to cover this slot. I'm going to be the commissioner on site.
Right.
Create a like a Google or Google.
I mean, we could do like a sign up
Yeah,
genius
that you
or a
just-
Google
yeah.
sheet or whatever.
Yeah, something like that, and people can
Whatever we
fill
think
in.
is reasonable. Because, I mean, you and Kim are there a lot, but there were times when like I went and there was nobody during the parade. But there were people there and the vendors were there and you had to make sure they weren't sneaking in the parking lot and, just deal with overall. I just used the time to walk around and talk to people and see how it was going. That's how I created that list. But I just I better stay here because nobody's really here if something happens.
And people are brazen enough to move that, what was that you said, George, to put in front of that gate?
Barricade of
A
some sort.
barricade, and open the gate and pull in and be justified at what they're doing. I get it. And like the guy that we have there, he's only there for certain hours as the festival's going on. So,
Yeah, and if Duncan would tell me, then I would go track down the vendor. Like if I was the one there, I would track him down and say, you're going to be towed if you don't. But little things came up. I mean, somebody from the children's choir threw up on stage. I'm searching for a mop and a bucket.
Remember that.
Yeah, so I'm like trying to find a mop and bucket.
that.
Yeah, it's like, you were doing band setup. And so it's like, so things happen that you don't, it isn't just running the bar or it's those little things.
And we're going to reach out to the rec commission as well. That's a strong group that, hopefully they're going to pitch in some of these hours as well. So
Yeah, I think that, like Trish and John said, we need to have, and that's why I had that tasks and times for each commissioner. So you're guaranteed 4 or 5 hours that you are going to be there. You will have the answers to anything that might arise during your shift.
Yeah, the rules would be, because like that one vendor just moved their van. I mean, we didn't know. We just all of a sudden the sunglass person was beside the food. And maybe they got permission, but they just didn't like their spot and moved it.
Hitting all the sore subjects tonight.
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right, no, I read the list that she sent. Yeah.
Yeah, so,
We know that toilets got to go everywhere. I mean, we're still sitting at numbers and locations and we know we're going to just blow it up, no pun intended, right here on the corner where you enter for the carnival.
Right.
We should probably have some right here by Township Hall. We can downsize the ones we have way down there, put a couple more back here, obviously for the carnival people. So.
and the only other thing in terms of the Builders Club, I think they're helpful for setup. If they're going to volunteer for like the info booth, then I think a parent needs to be present because the times I worked with them, they were not very helpful. They usually sat on their phone or played games and didn't really know what to do. So I would recommend, I love having them help, but they really need, whether it's picking up trash or very specific tasks, but working the info booth, I think for a middle school kid probably is not the best task unless when the moms were there, they were like,
I walked up and there were 2 people sitting in the info booth and they were not kids and they had not the happiest smile on their face. And I'm like, you guys kidding me? People
But I
come up
think
and
it's
ask
just
questions.
redirecting them
Yeah,
too.
absolutely, yeah.
I mean,
But yeah, I agree. It's like, we could put those little kids over at the parking thing, right?
no, we already went over that.
But I just think we just need to have specific tasks for them so that they can really
And
provide the most
Trish
benefit.
had mentioned we need to have the rules. What is on those vendor forms needs to be at the info booth. So if somebody comes in and starts asking, it's like, no, it says right here where you're supposed to be and what time you're supposed to be done and et cetera, et cetera.
Gail was great. She managed a lot of that, but it was my first year working it, and I There's the rules. That's all.
Good?
Yep.
Miss Kathy?
I don't have anything to say.
George, how's that parade coming along?
Fantastic.
Yeah?
Already
You
got the
see how
route
many
figured
people we
out.
got?
No, I haven't looked.
We want to thank the DDA again. They are. Angela said that she would put it through as at their next meeting, and they're gonna pick up the tab for the festival parade, which a lot of people don't know, but we spent close to $3,000 to have that parade on Macomb Street, and they're like, "What?" And it's like, yeah, the guys that drive the Tin Lizzies, the guys that ride the big bicycles, the men and women that are doing the bagpipes. A lot of those people need money to help keep their instruments clean and their bicycles shiny and their little Tin Lizzies up, up to code, I guess. So, yeah, when you're seeing that parade, that's a $3,000 parade at minimum, not including the candy we throw out. And the DDA is going to pick that tab up. So
Oh, that's very nice.
thank you.
Right.
Angela, I hope you got that in your agenda. We didn't want to blow it out of water. So the parade, there are forms already. People turned in already for that. Mr. John Bergen?
I have nothing.
Sounds good tonight. Wendy?
I'm good.
Miss Kearney? No. Miss Bridget Hurst?
I'm good.
Scott Ryan?
Good.
Kevin Leisness?
All good.
All right, so everybody's good with keeping the March 20. Oh, I'm sorry, Kim. You had anything to
I'm
say?
good.
Jim Nelson? We're good. That was a quick meeting. So March 20th, we are televised, right?
Yes.
All right, here in this room. Real quick, too, make sure you're on the recreation website, too, and check all that out because all our bands are listed. We have everything booked for the summertime, and we got a lot of new and exciting things coming for you. Next Thursday, the Community Recreation Commission will be on the same TV channel in the same room at 6 p.m., right?
Yeah.
All right. With that, I would like a motion to adjourn the meeting at 7:57. So moved. Second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Hi.
All right. We will see you all on March 20th.
Me.
Thank you. Take time to help out and volunteer for your community. Good night.